Hello cruising world, Mick the Suit Guy with you. Monday is tippy tip 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 day, and it's week 2 of my tips from Scott. Last week I thought was a resoundingly successful good tip week, especially as he mentioned my boy Nicola. Who wouldn't? But week 2 of Scott's tips, we've got 3 more, and I'm going to throw a bonus one in from Jill, another kiddie tip that won't make any sense to me. As always, I haven't read these yet. I read them live, and then we react as we go. So let's hop right into it, shall we? We got 3 more tips from Scott and 1 from Jill. Boom. Number 1, or number 4, because he did 3 last week. On the topic of drinking. I always get a bit nervous when people say on the topic of drinking, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Define good, define bad. If you enjoy an old-fashioned, I don't. So I'm switched off on no more comments from me on this one because I hate brown liquor. It's disgusting to me. Now, Leela and Chuck, our friends, they love them. Me? No. No brown liquor. No. Anyway, if you enjoy an old-fashioned, you may find many of the bartenders on board have a habit of adding club soda to the drink. In fact, it happened to us so many times that I now wonder if Carnival has a bar book that lists club soda as an ingredient. Whatever the case, it is my unshakable opinion, strong words, Scott, strong words, that club soda does not belong in an old-fashioned. If you are of a similar mind, then I suggest you either preemptively... See, Dave, see the words that Scott uses? I'm talking to you, Dave, preemptively. Yeah, I know that's above your pay grade. What a great... That's a big word. Lots of letters. And I just finished binge watching Trailer Park Boys on Netflix. So I can really appreciate how great that word is. Ooh, caught me away. Preempt, and I said it. I read it live and I said it correctly. So impressed with myself. I suggest you either preemptively request no club soda when you order, or watch the bartender like a hawk so that you can put a stop to such antics. I wish you'd said shenanigans. That's your first negative point there, Scott, because antics, shenanigans. Remember that for next time. Big words, Scott, big words. Before you end up with a cocktail that you don't want to drink and that the bartender doesn't want to make all over again. I can appreciate that being a very good tip. I don't drink old fashions. I don't drink brown liquor, like I said. I have no idea what is supposed to go in it. But it's possible that club soda is an ingredient in it and Scott just doesn't like it. I don't know. Bar connoisseurs, give your opinion in the comments. I'll ask Nicola. I wish I could call him right now. I wish I could call him. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? One of these things, I'm going to make sure he's available and I'm going to call him live on air and ask him, and I'll put the speakerphone up and so you can show it actually is him and we'll see what he says. So if you have any drink-related questions, alchemy-wise, what a great... Oh, mind blown. Let's do a live video with Nicola with your questions on the alchemy bar. So email me, coming up at the end of this video, email me your alchemy bar related questions. I'll get Nicola, we'll get my laptop up, we'll Facebook message him in, so you'll see his picture up on the screen here, and I'll ask him the questions, he can answer, you can watch. The best ideas come from when you weren't planning one, don't they? Ha! Boom. All right, moving on. That's great. Gonna get Nicola. He won't care. He'll do it. He'll do what I tell him. Yeah. On the topic of comedy shows. I remember reading this header out from last week. Comedy shows are very near and dear to me. So let's see what Scott has to say. Comedy is notoriously popular on every cruise resulting in long waits and crowded lounges. I can definitely... We were just on the Radiance. Doug Williams, one of the best comedians in the fleet. His show is phenomenal. We went half an hour early, and if you've been on the Radiance, you know they've got that little walkway down the side with the TV screens if you can't get into the main lounge. We had to sit in one of them. We were half an hour early. 5 minutes later, standing room only. 25 minutes before the show, you couldn't get a seat. And it's not the smallest comedy club, but it's not the largest, but it's good enough for the size of the ship, I think. Popular, so popular. So, everybody complains because they get offended. Don't go. Then you're not taking up a seat from somebody that is not easily offended and wants to go. I only got about one line and I'm already going on a rant. However, there's a however. We were pleased to find that the earlier PG-rated shows had barely any crowds at all. In fact, when we sat down for the 6:30 show, the MC encouraged the audience to move up to the front just to fill things in a bit. And by the way, the show was excellent. There was a family with kids in the front row, and our comedian managed to interact with them in a fun and non-threatening way while keeping the audience entertained the whole time. So if you're planning dinner on the later side, then consider spending your cocktail hour at the early comedy show. I can't argue about that at all. It is true. Depends on the comedian. Sometimes if they're a more popular comedian like Doug or CJ, Vince, a lot of really good ones out there. I have too many to mention. But they might fill it out for a PG show because people want to see. And the good comedians, not the good comedians, a lot of comedians will say, come and watch my PG show. You think I can only be dirty? There's other comedians that don't like doing the PG shows. They only like doing the late shows, and that'll show. But a good comedian can do PG as well as 18, R-rated, and make them very entertaining and involve the kids and enjoy the kids and not make it feel like they're just trying to get through it. And you can tell. And they don't tend to be as full, no, not at all. But I will say, if you are going to the adult shows, do go early. We were sitting right at the entrance, and there were so many people complaining that they couldn't get a seat. What did you expect? It's such a popular event, first come, first served. Don't try and pull your weight. And I actually heard somebody say that they were diamond, just so they could get into the comedy show. Slap, slap, slap. I'm getting irritated. Scott, you've put me on tilt. Good tips. Not you didn't. You didn't put me on tilt at all. Your content has put me on tilt because you're making such good points. Hopefully the last one's going to calm me down a bit. Tip number 6, 3 today, 6 overall, the last one from Scott. On the topic of appetizers. This can't put me on tilt, surely. It's not drinking, it's not comedy. So appetizers. In the main dining room, we found that the appetizers can be some of the best food available. Case in point, the fried calamari and the marinated chicken tenders. However, hiding out on the dessert menu is a very serviceable cheese plate. Ooh. I don't know if Carnival is trying to be fancy or old school by offering cheese at the end of the meal, but if you can make it for a fine appetizer. In the alternative, if you ate a guy's cheeseburger late in the day, if you don't feel like a large heavy dinner, just order a Caesar salad and a cheese plate and ask your waiter to bring them together as your main. My wife did this and it worked out nicely. I always get the cheese plate as my dessert, nearly. Pretty much 99% of the time, that's my dessert. You could totally do it as an appetizer, but anytime you can ask for it as an appetizer, just tell them. It doesn't have to be dessert. So, just say I want it as an appetizer instead of a dessert, and they'll bring it to you straight away. It's not like they have, the blah, blah, blah. They can bring you anything. A lot of the main courses, they can do as an appetizer portion, especially the pasta ones. It's pasta, not pasta. We were first. I will add one more thing on the appetizers, and it always blows my mind. And disagree with me if you want. I will find it hard for you to prove me wrong. And I don't know how they do this, but the soup is always excellent. No matter what the soup is, it always seems to be the perfect temperature. And you would think it would be really salty because they make it the big pot things. It's never over salty. The mushroom soup they do on there, the smoked poblano and cheese soup, the mushroom soup. I'm not such a big fan of the steak and ale soup because I don't really eat much red meat, or I try not to eat too much, especially steak and stuff like that, unless I'm in a steakhouse. But yeah, the soups are phenomenal, and I agree, the appetizers are always great. And we all know the food in the main dining room is not necessarily the best. We're not, but we don't cruise. If you cruise for the food on a Carnival cruise ship and you're not going into specialty restaurants and you're just going to main dining room, you're probably going to be disappointed. We do not cruise for the food. We cruise for the crew, to be honest with you. I mean, we were only on our Radiance cruise recently because of Nicola, and then I found out Doug was on board, which was a double perfect whammy for me. So we literally will cruise a lot if we know certain crew members will be on board, but different people cruise for different reasons. I will just say again, if you're cruising for food and you're only eating in the main dining room, don't expect much. But good. I mean, Scott, 6 great tips over 2 weeks. I can't, if it was Dave, I'd have annihilated him. I couldn't really pick on much on yours at all. And I like to, give my opinion. I didn't really have many to give. Keep them coming. When you go on Panorama, send me 12. And so can you. Yes, you watching now. You. Send me yours. You know you've got some. You know you have some. Send them to me. I promise to be nice. And if you want it to be anonymous, just give me a fake name. But I am always honest. All right, I'll leave you with one more kitty tip from Jill. If you remember, Jill sent some kitty tips recently, and I did a couple of videos on those, and none of them made any sense to me whatsoever, because I don't have children. Julie likes to say she has one. You can work that one out. But yeah, we don't have kids. So some of the ones she came up with were way above my pay scale, but I'm sure if you're a parent, they made sense. So hopefully this makes sense. I'm sure it won't make sense to me, but I'm going to read it anyway. Another kid tip. If your kid is in diapers, well, now I'm already lost. Bring bright coloured dog poop bags. Where the hell is this going? Yes, you heard that correctly, everybody. The first line, if your kid is in diapers, bring bright coloured dog poop bags. We put all diapers individually in a bag. Tell the room steward that's what's in the bags. This cuts down on smells in the room, and the stewards saw all trash, so a heads up is appreciated. I'm glad I was never a kids' TV presenter, because I actually just read that out. And I'm sure a lot of people are saying, great point. I'm assuming that you're throwing the diapers away. They're not reusable diapers, right? They're those because in England we call them nappies, just so you know. And we definitely reuse them. We wash them. They're like cloths rather than the diapers. So I guess you're saying coloured dog poop bags so you can't see what's in the bag, as opposed to clear ones. Tell the room. I think so many things I want to say, and my brain, it's like that R. Kelly, my mind is telling me yes, but my body's telling me no, whatever that song went, I don't even know the lyrics. Plus he's in jail now anyway, so what his mind is telling me, just ignore that completely. Anyway, tell the room steward that's what's in the bags. It cuts down on smells in the room. Yeah, I'm not going to go anywhere else with that. I think you got where we were going with that one. We'll leave that one well alone. Basically what we're saying is, if your kid shit in a diaper, put it in a coloured bag, tie it up, and tell the steward, this is what's in the bag. Great tip, Jill, for parents. I'm not knocking the tip, but it's beyond my pay scale. All right, Scott, well done. Jill, well done. I think. I can't say it's good or bad, because sounds kind of weird, but who am I? All right, send your tips. I promise I'll be nice. Unless your name is Dave. Steph, you can send them. If your name is, and your last name begins with R, so I'm not putting you off if your name is Dave, thinking, oh, my name's Dave Smith, I can't send them. Only if your name is Dave Rosso, then you're not allowed. Well, you can, please send them, Dave, because I have fun with yours, and I haven't had any from you in quite some time. Send me your tips, send me your cruising traditions, ask me any questions you may have, and subscribe to my little channel here, because the more people I get, the more my head grows, and it's a big, big head. I want to make it bigger. Not my belly. My belly's got to lose something, because I've been partying and cruising way too much. I'm going to break now until September, when I go on the Legend to Greenland. That's my next cruise. So I'm off for a while. It's time to get fit. diet treadmill and lose 20 pounds. And then you won't see the belly quite like it is right now. I'm off to do the treadmill. I will see you later, Cruising World. Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel? We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, Mick, at elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please. Subscribe! Thank you.